The Arizal teaches in his concept of Tzimtzum, creation begins when Hashem hides his infinite light and then brings light back in a measured way. Some physicists suggest a surprising parallel. Our universe may have begun inside a spinning black hole in a larger universe. In this class, we'll compare these two models, contraction, hiddenness, and new light, and use black hole spin and growth as a helpful metaphor for the Arizal's picture of creation. In the universe, almost everything spins. Galaxies spin, stars rotate, black holes spin, and sun spin extremely fast. Recently, astronomers studying deep space images from the James Webb Space Telescope noticed something surprising. Many galaxies, 60 to 70%, seem to rotate in the same direction. Instead of being completely random, their spin may be aligned. If that observation holds up, it's a big deal. The standard Big Bang model assumes the universe should look roughly the same in every direction, with no preferred spin. But if there really is a pattern, it could mean the universe itself has an overall rotation. And here's where things get bold. Astrophysicist Nikodem Popławski argues that if the universe is rotating, it may be rotating relative to something larger. His proposal is simple but radical. Our universe may have been born inside a spinning black hole in a parent universe. The spin of that black hole would naturally pass into the new universe. So again, we see the same structure: contraction, spin, and then expansion into a new world. Let's take a step back and quickly review what a black hole is. A black hole forms when a massive star collapses under its own gravity. The pull becomes so strong that once something crosses a boundary called the event horizon, nothing can escape, not even light. Inside, matter is crushed to extreme density. In standard physics, it collapses toward a singular point called singularity. Instead of collapsing forever, the matter inside the black hole may reach a limit, bounce, and begin expanding. That expansion would look like a big bang, but from the inside. In this model, every black hole could give birth to a new universe. Now, here's the key connection. Black holes spin. They form from spinning stars, so they inherit rotation. If our universe was born inside a spinning black hole, it would inherit that spin too. That could explain why galaxies may rotate in a preferred direction. The spin of the parent black hole becomes the axis of the new universe. So again, the pattern: collapse, hidden interior, new expanding world. Arizal teaches something very bold. Before creation, there was only Ein Sof, infinite divine light. There was no space for anything else to exist. So what did Hashem do? He performed Tzimtzum. He concealed his infinite light. Not that he left, not that he disappeared, but he hid his presence in a way that allowed a space inside him to exist. This is why, by the way, one of the names we use for Hashem is Hamakom. As Chazal say, Hashem is Makom. Hashem is the place of the world, not the world is the place of Hashem. In other words, everything we know as reality inside, it exists inside Kadosh Baruch Hu, in the special area that he vacated for us. That hidden space is called Halal Panu, a kind of spiritual vacuum. In that concealment, creation could begin. But the story doesn't stop there. After the concealment, a thin ray of light, the Kav, entered that space. Not infinite light, measured light, directed light. From that ray came structure, order, the Sphirot, the spiritual worlds, and eventually our physical universe. So the pattern of Tzimtzum is simple. First, concealment, then measured revelation, darkness, then light returns in a controlled way. And one more important point. Tzimtzum does not mean Hashem left. It means he hid. From our side, it feels like separation. From his side, nothing ever changed. Creation begins not with explosion, but with concealment. Now I'll put the two models side by side. They are not the same thing, but the structure is surprisingly similar. First, contraction. In black holes, matter collapses inward toward an extreme point. In Tzimtzum, infinite divide light is concealed, creating a central space. Both begin with contraction. Second, a hidden interior. A black hole has an event horizon. Once something goes inside, it's hidden. In Tzimtzum, the halal panui is also hidden. From our perspective, it feels like God is absent. Both describe a concealed inner realm. Third, collapse before expansion. Some cosmologists suggest a collapsing universe could give birth to a new expanding one. Arizal says infinite light was withdrawn before finite reality could exist. Both models basically say first contraction, then expansion. Fourth, a directed line. In Kabbalah, a seen ray, the Kav, enters the empty space and begins creation. In black hole cosmology, a new universe expands from inside a collapsed core, possibly with a built-in axis of rotation, with specific direction. Just like the Kav in Kabbalah has a specific direction, the line that effectuates unfolding of Hashem's plan for the creation. Both describe something linear and directional emergent after the contraction. Fifth parallel, limited light. Black holes trap almost everything, but sometimes jets shoot outward. In Tzimtzum, most of the infinite light is concealed, but a small, measured amount returns. In both cases, most is hidden, a little is revealed, and that little builds worlds. 6. Hidden trace. Physics debates whether information inside a black hole is truly lost. Kabbalah says, even after Tzimtzum, a trace remains, the Rishimon. Nothing is truly gone, it's hidden. I will have a separate class on the so-called information retention wars in relationship to this idea of whether information is getting lost or not, and its direct connection to something our sages discuss in Pirkei Avos. That will be a separate class. So again, the shared pattern, contraction, hidden interior, measured return, new structure. Science describes it physically, Arizal describes it spiritually. The different language, same architecture. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If the universe really has an overall spin, that means something important. Rotation is never random. If something is rotating, it is rotating relative to something. There has to be a larger frame. Popławski argues that if our universe spins, it must be part of something bigger. It would not be a closed system. It would have inherited that spin from a larger structure, like a black hole in a parent universe. Now listen to how that sounds in Torah language. Tzimtzum creates a space that feels independent, but it is never truly separate. The infinite surrounds it and sustains it. There is no reality outside of Hashem. But just like a spinning universe would point to something beyond it, the very order of creation points to something beyond it. Then think about the Kav, the line of light that enters the empty space. It is directional. It has orientation. It comes from above to below. It sets structure. It sets the goal for creation. If the universe has a cosmic axis, that's physics describing orientation. If Tzimtzum has a Kav, that's Torah describing direct orientation. Different language, same idea. Creation is not random. It has direction. It has a plan. It has a purpose. Even the idea that unseen forces drive expansion, whether physics call it dark energy or Kabbalah calls it the hidden divine flow, points to the same thing. What moves the universe is not always visible. If our universe were inside a black hole, we wouldn't be able to see what's outside it. Just like we can't see inside a black hole from here. But something interesting happens when black holes merge. When two black holes collide, they send out gravitational waves, ripples in space itself. In 2015, scientists detected these waves for the first time. We didn't see the collision, we heard it. That means Even something completely hidden can still leave a trace. Black holes don't just swallow, they also produce signals. Now think about that spiritually. Tzimtzum begins with a concealment. Divine light is hidden, but it's not gone. There's still a trace called a rishimum, an imprint. Even from the deepest concealment, something emerges. In physics, collapse, darkness, gravitational waves. In Kabbalah, concealment, hidden light, creation. The pattern stays the same. What is hidden still lives in an echo. Darkness is not silent. It carries information. It gives birth to structure. Both science and Kabbalah are trying to answer the same question. How does something come from what looks like nothing? In Kabbalah, the answer is Tzimtzum. Hashem hides his infinite light. That concealment makes creation possible. In some modern physics models, our universe may have come from something hidden, like the interior of a black hole. The Big Bang may not have been the absolute beginning, but the result of something concealed. Different language, same structure. Both say creation requires hiddenness. There is another powerful idea here. A black hole looks like destruction. It swallows light, it erases structure. But in some models, it becomes the womb of a new universe. Tzimtzum sounds like absence, like withdrawal, but it becomes the starting point of all worlds. Darkness is not the enemy of creation. Darkness is what allows creation. In Kabbalah, that's a concept of Or Haganuz, hidden light, light that is present but not visible. Physics says something similar. Even inside a black hole, information may not be destroyed, just hidden. So whether we speak about gravitational collapse or divine concealment, the deeper message is the same. What looks like loss may actually be preparation. What looks like emptiness may actually be potential. What looks like darkness may be the beginning of light. Now let's step back. What are we really saying? Both science and Kabbalah are wrestling with the same mystery. How does something come from what looks like nothing? The Arizal says creation begins with concealment. Hashem hides his infinite light. That hiddenness makes room for existence. Some modern physicists say maybe our universe came from something hidden, the interior of a black hole. Maybe the Big Bang was not the absolute beginning, but the result of something concealed. Both pictures say the same thing. Before revelation, there is contraction. Before light, there is darkness. Before expansion, there is inward collapse. And here's the deepest point. A black hole looks like destruction. It swallows light. Tzimtzum sounds like absence, like withdrawal. But in both cases, what looks like loss becomes the womb of creation. Darkness is not the enemy of light. Darkness is what makes light possible. Sometimes concealment is not rejection, it is preparation. Sometimes what feels like emptiness is actually space being made for something new. If that is truly cosmically, it may also be true personally. The same structure that builds universes may be structure that through which Hashem builds us. Contraction, hiddenness, then new light.